So we'll start, I guess. Okay. So let's get started then. Okay. Today's topic, let me just share my screen. Hello, I'm Rohit Ansu Pradhan, working in Indian Cybersecurity Solution as a cybersecurity analyst. And today we'll be talking about the topic of security misconfigurations on web as well as on service. So let me just share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. I hope I'm audible also. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible and let's get started with it. Let's get started with the PPT first. Yeah, security misconfiguration. So it is a very common vulnerability that is yet overlooked by the organization, right? So it seems to be a minor issue, but it will leave the system to a very critical vulnerability. We can get the password, we can get privileged access also, right? So that is what we will be talking about today. Okay. So understanding the cyber threat landscape, we'll just skip this part. We won't talk about this. No PPTs and all. I don't want to talk about PPTs, some common vulnerabilities I will be talking about. So let's get started with this very common vulnerability. Okay. So whenever I work in this company of Indian Cybersecurity Solution as a penetration tester. Okay. So in our company, we test for different organization, web application, network, and APIs, APK files, IS files, and all. So we look for this common misconfiguration issues. Okay. Starting with this particular thing called as weak password and access control. Okay, many times we have seen in different organizations that they will be giving us weak set of credentials that is not related to network, related to web application, related to networks, or related to web application. So we get different types of set of credentials. Okay, we try to look if there is if the credential is very weak or is it very easy to guess it is very easy to guess or not. So what I will do, I'll just show you one example. In most of the routers and IoT devices, okay, it will be configured with a set of weak credentials. Like what? When you get a router, okay, the router information and the configuration details will be there in the back of the router box. Okay, so currently I am connected to this Wi-Fi network that is at 5G. So let's go to this particular Wi-Fi network at 5G, and this is the test Wi-Fi that I have in my office. So we can give the set of default credential that is there in the back of the router box. So that is, I'll not tell you. So it login button. Let's see if it is working or not. Yeah, and we are able to log in into this particular application, a vulnerable page. Okay, we are able to log in into this router's IP address. So by the set of default credentials, we can do a lot of things. Okay, we can do a lot of things. We can gain an access to the system. We can come out of it. We can delete files and all. Right. So these are the things that happens in default credentials. Apart from that, yeah. Apart from that, we look for all the unnecessary ports and services, some unpatched software vulnerabilities, some network misconfiguration, some unsecured cloud services, cloud storage, like like we have S3 bucket for Amazon and Blob for Microsoft Azure. Right? We look for that all things when we do pen testing for clients. So what I'll show you now, some kind of misconfiguration and some kind of unnecessary port that are open. So for this demonstration, I will be using my Kali and a vulnerable server. Okay. So let me just close. This is my Kali Linux. Okay. So what I can do here is, and we'll just use a font for you, get the sudo access, got the sudo access. So what I can do is we look or we get a pattern for every cybersecurity professional. When we do bug bounty also, we get a scope. Okay. When we do pen testing also, we get a scope. If we talk about network, we get a scope of IP addresses. If we talk about web application, we create a scope of links, URLs. Okay. If we tell in more technical terms, URI. Okay. URI is composed of URL and URL. So in this particular example, I will be scanning my network. Okay. And I will try to find security misconfiguration in this particular IP address. Okay. And I will try to find security misconfiguration in this particular IP address. So before that, what I'll do, I will use this particular tool called as Angry IP Scanner. Okay. Most often we will get a set of scope. Apart from that, we will be also using this Angry IP Scanner to get the associated host name as well as to scan this network. I'll go to my command prompt. So here is my command prompt. I'll type the command ifconfig to get the IP address configuration. Okay, so we are getting some information here. You can see 192.168.0.109. So our subnet marks you can see is 255.255.255.0. Okay, that is a class C IP address. So we can specify the range. I will give from 1 to 200.255. That is the range. Yeah, I want to discuss the previous scan. Let me, that is Arches. That is our router's IP address. Okay, and I've told you how to get an access to our Wi-Fi router. Okay, that is left the router as well as in the back of the box. You will get the credentials like admin, get an access. So we were talking about the thing called as misconfiguration. So here you can see we have so many devices as well as the IP addresses associated with the devices also we are getting. We have the desktop, we have some other desktop application, we have Metasploit able to. Yeah, for demonstration purpose, I'll be using this particular machine. Meta old machine. What can we get from this very old machine if we hack it? Okay, the answer will be you will be able to understand the topic. Okay, so no doubt it is a older version. Still, we'll be able to understand a lot of things from this Metasploit. Okay, so we got the IP address, we got the scope 192.168.0.1. Okay, similarly, the client will also give us the IP address. Suppose the client give us the IP address 192.168.0.111. Hit enter. What is this? Basically, it will scan for open port running services and all. If I just go to new tab and search, what is this nmap? You can see very basic tool. All knows about it, right? We can target a specific host. We can do host discovery by using -sn. Yeah, we can do scanning techniques are there. Okay, port specification. We can do server detection. We can do performance, firewall evasion. Many things we can perform. Okay, my personal favorite is this -a that will try to enable the OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and trace routing. Okay, easy thing to understand about that target. So you know about the ping command, right? So if we type ping and the target IP address 192.168.0.111, we will be able to ping that particular, we'll be able to check the connectivity between our system and the metasploitable machine. So I'll hit enter. You can see we are getting some replies, right? I'll just close that reply for you. You can see the time to live field, that is 64. This sometimes gives some information that the particular IP address is running with an operating system of Linux. Okay, so when, as I'm talking about this misconfiguration, right? Most of the time, firewall in the particular infrastructure of the company, this ping request will be blocked. We'll be discussing, we'll be constructing a secure firewall also in the future after after few minutes. So see, if you're able to get the ping request, you will be able to guess which kind of operating system it is. Okay, if it is 64 Linux, if it is 128, can be Windows. Okay, so main thing about misconfiguration, don't ping it. Okay, don't ping it. So we did a scan. Okay, you can see here that we have nmap 192.168.0.11, that this particular server is used only for web application. These are all the unnecessary services like domain, like FTP, Postgres, VNC. These are very unnecessary services that are running on the server. Okay, so as a network administrator, you should, as a penetration tester also, you should inform the client that you should not enable these all unnecessary services, as this particular port can be a place through which an attacker can hack into their organization. Okay, now let's see how an attacker can gain an access to it. Let's see how an attacker can gain an access to it. Okay, talking about this misconfiguration. Second thing here, the unpatched software and vulnerability. Let's get it done then. So hospital A, as I told you, this is my favorite one, so I will be using that one. Voice detection, buzzer detection, script scanning, these all things I can perform. I will give the target IP address 192.168.0.11. Yeah, let it scan. It will take a bit time, and my CPU is very high. 86% done. Let's wait for a few seconds. We'll get the versions operating system detection will get from the IP address. Yeah, we got it. As I told you, if we ping it, we'll get the time to live field. If you are able to see the time to live field, that is 64 by default, it is there. So that will be what? A Linux machine. So if we just go and verify it whether it is a Linux machine or not, yeah, we can see it from this place. Yes, we can see it from this place. Then it is showing some Linux version 2.6.x, where the X varies from 9 to 33. Okay. So what the hacker will do, what the misconfiguration here we have. So let's target this FTP. Okay, let's target this FTP. That is file transfer protocol. You can see first misconfiguration is there. That is what we call as the anonymous login. Okay. So if you want to do an ethical hacking, you can report this to the client. If you are doing unethical hacking, then you gain an access, do something, and be silent about it. Right. So what I will do, I'll just go to new tab. Okay. And here, as you say that FTP anonymous login is allowed, I'll try to log in using FTP. I'll type the command nmap, which port I'm targeting, 21. Okay, so just a second. I will log in using FTP and get the target anonymous. Let's see if it is, yeah, we have this login successful message. Yeah. So you can see that you can access like this. Fine. This is one way. Okay, let's see some other ways to get an access to this place. Okay. So we have this server FTP is VSTPD, VSFTPD 2.3.4. So let's go and check whether what is the latest version of VSFTPD. If it is, if this particular version is a lower one, then we might have some exploit regarding it. Fine. So what I'll do, I'll just go to new tab. I'll search for VSFTPD latest version. And here you can see the latest version is 3.0.2. Okay. And okay. So this type of version detection when we do in any good amount of vulnerability, we can use Weapilizer for it. We can use Nikto for it for web applications and all I'm talking about. If it is a network pen testing, we can use this Nmap for 3.2 latest one, and this one is the oldest one. So we can say the client that this particular version of FTP is weak. Please update your version. So the client will say if you can exploit it or not. So what I can do as a hacker, we will go to our database. As an ethical hacker, we'll go to our database. As another thing, we'll go to new tab. I'll go to exploit DB where we have exploit database of exploit many. So if I just go and search for not this, we'll go and search for the version of it. Let's go and search for the version of it. Copy it. Say two exploit that we can use. Okay, let's use it. Let's see if it is exploitable or not. Let's see if it is exploitable or not. If it is exploitable, then it is a critical vulnerability. If not, we have two places to exploit. First of all, we have this Python script. If I just click on this one, we have this Python script to exploit it, right? As flat framework and script. Okay, as we are getting started with this ethical hacking this security configuration, I will just download the script. Here we have downloaded 497 times. I have already downloaded. So let me just go to my terminal. Go to downloads. Oops. Go to downloads. Go. Okay, in the downloads it will be there. Okay. ls. So here we have that particular file. I will in permission. Okay. So I'll type the command python 3, the file name, this one, and the target IP. Yeah, we are able to exploit it. If we type ls, nothing we are getting over. The server issue is bit, the CPU is bit high. Okay, you're not getting it. What if I type exit? Responding due to high CPU usage. Okay, fine. Just to show you some other ways to gain an access to also. We have so many things to gain an access from. This is a very good place to practice. Yeah, of course, if you are doing CTFs and all, this is very important. So you can see this VNC is also there. VNC is basically used for remote login, right? VNC is basically used for remote login purpose. So what I can do, I can use my Metasploit framework. Okay, I can use my Metasploit framework by typing the command msf console. CPU usage is bit high. Let it run. Let this particular tool open. So vulnerability, some weak password and access control will lead to security breaches. Inappropriate network configuration will lead to security breaches. Yeah, I've seen many of my contacts getting many vulnerabilities, many bugs from this cloud server, unsecure cloud server, open S3 bucket from okay. So yeah, here we have. So what I can do, I can just go to and search for something like VNC reacting for again. Hit enter. Yeah. So we okay. I'll look for options now. You can see many options here. Like we have our host. As we know, our host is used to set the remote host. I'll set the R host. Okay. Set the R host to 192.168.0.111. Let's hit run button. Let's see if it is working. Yeah. See here that the credential data will not be saved. Login successful by using password. This is also a vulnerability that leads to security issues. Default credential, password is password. So what I can do, I can just go and have a remote desktop connection. Okay, by using this particular password. Go to new tab. I'll type VNC viewer and the target IP address. Password or password, and you are able to get an access to the server graphically. Okay. Most of the time, hackers will be gaining access in the help of command line, but here, as this particular server is vulnerable, as for this demonstration purpose, I'm showing you here in Metasploitable 2. This we are this is how we are able to access graphically. Okay, here we can type ls. So here we have home directories and all. Like if we just go to cd/home, it might not be visible in the live stream, but still I'm not able to increase the font. So just cope up with it. cd I can type ls. So here we have MS7 different users are there here. So MS7 admin I can go type ls. So here we have some text files. So we have gotten remote access to the server. Right. So this is what the misconfigurations that are there in your remote servers. Okay, these are there in your remote Linux. Then it is. If not Windows, then we will try for Active Directories and all. Right. So if we talk about now for web application, how unsecure is that web application? I'll go to my Kali Linux. I'll go to the particular this part and I'll go to the particular. For this demonstration purpose also, I'm using this Metasploitable tools machine only, DBW I'll be using it. Okay. Admin and password, login, don't save it. Let's go and change the security to first low. Okay. So what I will do, I'll use this favorite tool of web pen tester, Bob suit. I have the community edition for it. Let it run. No, it's taking a bit time to run. We'll wait for it. So secure an application, like we secure the application from different types of attacks. Very common attacks like SQL injection, cross-site scripting. One of is our cross-origin resource sharing, CORS attack. Okay, that leads to information, that leads to, we can say, LFI, RFI, right? Local file inclusion, remote file inclusion. Okay, as well as it leads to any security misconfiguration. The server will lead to directory traversal, right? So these are the things that it will lead to. Maybe it will lead to Bob is out of date. Okay, fine, I understand that one. So I'll intercept the request of this thing. Let's go to somewhere. I'll just switch on my clock. That's it. Okay, we are able to see the request. Just pause it. I'll go to HTTP history. I will go to logout button. Next, admin password. Don't save it. Request. In the post request, you can see here the admin and password. Okay, we have some redirection also. Fine. Okay. So what I can do, okay, when I just click on this file, not file upload, I'll talk about this thing called as file inclusion. Okay, file inclusion, where we can gather information related to the web server. To include a file, just edit the page here it says. Okay, I'll make it full screen. You look at this URL. Okay, this is the places that we are looking for. Case scenario also, understand this particular weakness first in this vulnerable web application. You see, we have the protocol here. Oops. Yeah, this is where our file inclusion vulnerability might be there due to misconfiguration. If we change this include.php and give some what you say payload regarding it, if we give some kind of payload regarding it, then what will happen? We'll be able to retrieve information from the server. Okay. Most of the time we take the help of fuzzing and all. Yeah, we do fuzzing here. Okay. If it was a as well as we'll be using this Bob suit intruder for it. Okay. I have list for it. In a recent scenario, I was we found a vulnerability by fuzzing. If I just scroll up, here we have fuzzing. Shadow file, you can look for it. Okay. If I just go back and look for Windows machine, our NT users will be able to see it. Okay, we have some, what you say, access log files will be able to see. These are the payloads that we can use to find security configuration related to LFS. Okay, machine here, machine. These are the payloads. Okay, many payloads are there. I don't to make it 110, 120. So what I'll do, I'll capture this request in the Bob suit. The repeater. Here we are in the repeater. Okay, so we can change the payload one by one from this particular set of word list. From there, what I can do, I can just go here and I can change this thing. I'll just clear it. I want to change. I want to insert payload in this particular part. Hit enter. Go to payload section, select checklist, and attack. It will give us 200 message if we are finding some information. For now, I'll be using repeater only. I'll go and just copy users in the server. Paste here, we are getting root daemon, we are getting MSF admin, right? Different users as well as the hashes. If we just go to shadow file, let's see shadow file. Not really. Maybe it was there in password only. Hit send. Click on render. And again, you can see here all the information we are getting, all the sensitive information we are getting in the responses. Okay. So this is one vulnerability that is coming from where? Coming from some misconfiguration. Other types of vulnerabilities are there, like file upload vulnerability we have, right? So in basically file upload vulnerability, we try to put some kind of our machine, right? This is our machine. This is the other machine. Okay. So we have these two types of cell here, like we have this reverse shell as well as bind shell. Okay. Bind shell, what will happen? This particular person will try to make a connection to us. A reverse shell will try to make a connection to them. Okay. We'll be listening here. So look at this file upload vulnerability. That is also comes in misconfiguration only. So if we just go to DBWA, you go to upload. Okay. It says choose an image to upload. Many of our pentest, if we are putting a PNG file and click on upload button, we are this one, this path. Okay. So if I just go to this path, I'll just copy this one. And here is create some kind of reverse shell. We put our listener from this end. Okay. We try to listen for the connection. And what we can do is get the shell for it. Okay. From internet, Pentest Monkey is there. Okay. Or we can create of our own. So I'll create of my own now by using MSF Venom. Okay, I'll get the sudo. Fine. I'll go to documents. I'll go to shell. Okay, here I will be creating that one. So for creating this Venom, okay, we specify the payload. That is what we can say. The meter Peter reverse TCP. We can say it. Okay, reverse TCP. L host we can specify. What is our L host? Our IP address. So 192.168.0.116, is it correct? 116, yeah, fine, it is correct. Port number I can change it to, I already created it, so I don't want to ruin the port number. Okay, so here we have started the creation of a payload by using MSF Venom that will give us a reverse shell. By using Netcat, we can listen to it, or by the help of MSF console or Metasploit framework, we will be able to listen to it. Fine. Let it, yeah. So this is the, I will copy this one. Okay, I'll type nano uh, payload dot paste it here. I'll save it, I'll come out of it. So type ls, here we have payload.php. So in misconfiguration, we will check whether the particular file, this PHP file extension, are we able to upload in this web page. The web page, it asks for what? Only for image file. If you are able to upload it, we will be able to upload the reverse shell also. Try using text file first. Okay, you can do different type of, you can combine this file upload vulnerability with what you can say cross-site scripting injection attack. You can upload, you can combine with it to form a critical vulnerability. Okay, so now what you can do, let me just go and check. Let me just go and check whether we are able to upload this file or not. Let's go to shell. Here we have payload. I'll click on open. I'll click on upload. And I just go to proxy and HTTP history. We have some post request in the login. We have some upload request. Send it to repeater. Let me see. Okay. So here we have the PHP file. Okay. This is how it looks like. And this is the payload.php. Sometimes if it is validating the content of the file, okay, you won't be able to upload it. So that time you have to use some double extension like payload.php.html or any file that they accept. Okay. If not, you can use this thing called as GIF. Okay. You can use this GIF magic number, that one is. So that one you can try it and try to upload it. Late enter, and we are able to upload that one. Fine. Now what I will do, I'll just look for reverse shell. I'll just listen for the connection. Go to tab. Here it is there. So search for multi-handler here. Here we have exploit multi-handler. I will use 7. Use 7. Okay. Host is a settle host to 4, sorry, 192.168.0. Okay, it is in port number 4999, and this is the payload that I have created. Fine. Mm. So set L port to 4999 payload to what you say, the payload that we have created, this one. I'll paste it here. Okay. Now let's look for more options now. Yeah, options, I mean. Okay, let's hit the run button. Most of the time you'll be not getting this path in the application path. Okay, so let me just go back once, twice. paste it here. Okay, so here we have the payload.php that we have created. What about our meta yesterday session? Yeah, and here we have gotten access to the server. If I type sysinfo, you will be able to. Okay, most of the cases, what happens is you won't be not able to get this particular path where you will be able to click on it. Okay, beware of that. Okay, so this is another misconfiguration that I wanted to talk about. Okay, talking about the security part, how do you keep itself secure? First thing first, like you are getting the what do you say the time to live field, right? So if you are able to ping it, we are able to understand this particular machine is like think twice before trying to attack it, right? So for that we can implement some kind of firewalls. Okay, so we can implement some kind of firewall. We can do proper input validation here. Validation we can do it. Okay. So what I can do now, I'll just show you how to keep it secure. Let me go to my Cisco packet tracer. Okay. So in this particular Cisco packet tracer, we'll be using a server. Let's suppose this is the vulnerable server I was talking about. If I just go to end devices, this is the server. Click on it. I'll connect this server with three pieces. One, two, and three. Okay. I'll connect everything by automatic wire from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Okay, I'm telling this as a network admin perspective. So this is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it is being connected. So bring the PCs here. Still, this is our server. Yeah, you can see our switches and all. Right. How do you configure it now? Yeah, you can see how do you configure it. First of all, we'll keep that in the same network. Very simple. I'll just go and highlight it, keep it in the same network. Close this, give the range of it. Let's have /24. Okay, so everything will be how much? It will be in the range of 192.168.0.12345 and all. It will keep on going. I'll just label it down so that configuration will be easy for me now. 0.10, 192.168.0.20, 192.168.0.30, and I'll give this one as 192.168.0.1. By default, we should give it to router, but yeah, for this case, I'll give it to the server. I'll go and do the configuration. I'll go to desktop, we'll go to IP configuration, give the IP address, whatever we have given. How are we keeping this secure? Let's see. First of all, you do the configuration, then we'll talk about security. 192.168.0.10. Hit and go to give the IP address 192.168.0.20. Close it. Go to this place. This one also 192.168.0.30. 192.168.0.30. No, fine. So what can we do now? We can just ping it from one place to another. See, we're able to ping it successfully from server, from a system to the server. Can we ping it? Yeah, we are able to ping it. So I'll just go and write the 192.168.0.1. See, we are able to get a reply to the server. Okay, here it says 128. Maybe it is a Windows server. Maybe okay. So configure the firewall. What we can do, we can configure the firewall. Just go to firewall. Okay, you can click on the firewall services, switch it on. What action you want? You want to deny the traffic. Which traffic you want to deny? You want to deny ICMP traffic. Okay, which remote IP address you want? Let's suppose I don't want traffic from this 192.168.0.10 wildcard marks. Add, save. Let's see if it is working or not. In progress and filter. So see how we are able to ping it. Now, if I try to ping the server, how much is it? 0.1. See, we are not able to ping it. Okay, because we have configured the ping. It doesn't mean that we are not able to use the browser. Doesn't mean like only that no one should be able to ping it because pinging is the first attack surface. The URL before that I'll make some changes. I'll make some changes in the server. I'll go to HTML, HTTP. I'll edit the index.html here. I'll make some changes in the HTML code of it. I'll write something down. Okay. I'll save this HTML. Yes, I want to write it. I'll it is stopping we because from the ping request we are able to understand what type of operating right. In place of using HTTP, you can use HTTPS. Okay, about today's live on what is the security web server, okay, and what is the security misconfiguration on, yeah, what is the misconfiguration on a web server as well as in web application. This is all for the live, and we'll see you in the next live. Thank you all. We'll see you.